Alright, the 4.1 livestream just ended, and honestly, it's about what we expected, but maybe even more minimal than people were hoping for. Remember, version 4.1 is shortened to only 4 weeks, because the next patch, 4.2, is the anniversary update. So everyone already assumed this patch would mostly exist to bridge the gap until the big anniversary content. But after seeing the live stream, it really does feel like this version is just a waiting room for what's coming next. Let's start with the banners, because that's probably the biggest thing in the patch. We only have 3 characters running during the entire version. In the first phase we get Ashveil, the new lightning hunt character that focuses on marking enemies and triggering follow-up attacks through his bait mechanic. Alongside him we also have Hyacine, returning as the rerun for that phase. Then for the second half of the patch there's only one banner, and that's Boothill. No second rerun, no additional unit, just Boothill alone carrying the entire second phase of the version. Compared to normal patches where we usually get multiple reruns or stacked banners, this is definitely a very light banner schedule. Another interesting addition is a new 5-star light cone being added to the Herta shop, specifically for the Elation path. That's actually pretty notable because Elation is the new playable path being introduced around this era of the game, so adding a free farmable option in the Herta shop makes it much easier for players to build Elation characters without needing their signature light cones. If you're planning to pull upcoming Elation units later, this could end up being surprisingly useful. In terms of events, this is where the patch really feels small. There is basically one main event called Wispe War Saga, which looks like a kind of army turf war-style gameplay mode. From what they showed, it seems like players will control groups or units fighting over territory, almost like a strategic battle event rather than the usual puzzle or mini-game format. It might end up being fun depending on how deep the mechanics are, but it's still just one major event for the entire patch. Outside of that, the only other notable content addition is an update to Divergent Universe, and this time the update is themed around Elation and Aha. That makes sense with the current direction of the game, since the Elation path is starting to become a much bigger focus in the upcoming patches. So Divergent Universe getting Elation-related mechanics and blessings could be a preview of how this path will work more broadly going forward. Aside from those things, the patch also introduces 2 new planar ornament sets. We don't have full details from the live stream itself about their exact effects yet, but new planars usually mean new builds opening up for characters, so that's something theory crafters will definitely start looking at once the patch goes live. And of course, like most versions, we're getting the standard 10 free limited Star Rail passes just for logging in, which is always nice but also pretty expected at this point. But when you put everything together, the reality is that 4.1 is just a very small patch. 3 banners total, 1 main event, a Divergent Universe update, 2 new planars, a Herta shop light cone, and the usual login rewards. That's pretty much the entire content list. For now though, 4.1 really looks like a short filler patch, giving everyone time to save resources and prepare for whatever Hoyoverse is planning for the anniversary. And if the leaks about the upcoming characters and systems are even partially true, 4.2 might end up being one of the biggest updates the game has had in a long time.